And we're on air. Good morning. Welcome to Vaping Dawn to Dusk. I'm Juicy Jones and my host, PolishVapesUK. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Running a bit late today, but it's okay.
That's awesome. Today's show is going to be so rad. Today we have OhmBoy Josh from YouTube and Instagram and building stuff fame, and we have Travis from Overdose Vapes from YouTube and doing the most awesome eLiquid reviews fame. Those guys are both here. Forgive me for stammering and stuff because it's just a little bit early here. What time is it there, Luke?
It is 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's 8 o'clock here, so it's a little bit early. Uh, we have a winner to announce from last week's giveaway from Adore eLiquid, don't we?
We do indeed, and that is for two 30 ml bottles.
That is right, two 30 ml bottles. And the winner, when you're done, just email me at juicyjones@gmail.com.
Yeah, and I can see the winner is in the chat as well.
Of
And
course he is.
the winner is Vaping Teddy.
Vaping Teddy George, you won, my friend. You guys should all follow Vaping Teddy. He's my Greek friend. He's great. So, sir, you won two bottles of Adore. We'll send it to you. Just email me. We'll work it out. He also wants some of our DIY recipes. He and I talked about this last night, so we'll do that. That's another thing I want to tell everybody is that just in general coming up stuff for this show, for Vaping Dawn to Dusk, we're going to be doing a few theme shows, but one of them is definitely going to be DIY because Luke and I do it slightly differently, and it's going to be fun. And we're gonna like do a little DIY on the show. We're gonna talk about ways to do it, and we're gonna talk about the reasons why we do it and all that stuff. And we're gonna have a couple of recipes that we'll share with you guys that are different, that are pretty inexpensive and good. What happened to you this week, Luke? And what are you vaping on?
Not a lot, but I do my what I'm vaping on the Cherry Bomber V2 again.
Did
And
the voltimeter work, or is it broken?
oh no, yeah, the voltmeter has gone on me. I had an issue. I was just vaping on it. It was at like 3.5 volts, which I usually run it a little bit lower than that anyway. And then it jumped straight down to like 1.5 volts. And at first I thought, oh, that's dodgy. So I took the batteries out and I left it at
It's
home.
dodgy.
I left it at home for the day, and then I put the batteries in the charger, and they were at 3.7 volts. So I put some fresh batteries in it anyway. Went to fire it, and then the voltmeter went out on me. So yeah,
Yeah, the voltimeter's fucked.
it still works fine. The series works, but it's just the voltmeter's gone.
Is
Um,
Aid gonna help you fix it?
no, I'm not really worried about this. It still works. I'm not worried about the voltmeter. I've got my tug life coming soon with my series. Now we've switched that over, so I'll probably be using that more than this because it is a bit big, which people will see in my review when I do it.
I
Um,
forgot that your tug life is getting redone.
and I've got the flask clone with the support RDA, and I'm just using the last bit of juice that I've got at the moment, which is my strawberry yogurt. But next week
Ooh.
I should have my Adore liquid, and I've also got a juice subscription box coming from a company called Vape Mail, which I'm really interested to see that. And they've actually given me a 15% discount code to put on the review for viewers that want to buy a box.
That's
It's a
fantastic.
Yeah, it's a one-off Christmas box that they're doing.
That's
So
cool. We'll have all that information in the links down into the description for you guys. That's really cool. Yeah, this week I've got all of my stuff is the same gear, but I'm running the static wire, which I like all the static wire actually. I'm almost out of the 22 they sent me, and that's in my .14 here, and it's really delicious. And it's morning time, so of course I always in the morning am a whore to Sinful Apple from Adore. But in the other one, I've got this fog light Mary Ann, and this stuff shouldn't work for me, but it does. It's like a melon with honeysuckle, and I'm from Texas originally, and so I'm a sucker for honeysuckle. But melons are usually terrible, but he really nailed this. It's really good. And anyway, I got that on the Velocity with the Decimus, which is pretty but terrible. I mean, it actually works okay, but I just never want to stop taking an opportunity to complain about the Decimus and what a waste of money it is. Um, and then every tank in the world is what I'm doing. Um, I'm
so
so excited for George, and can we take a second? And I want to thank every single human being that is inside the chat, and that includes we have Skeletor from WTF Vapors, we have Mr. Vapor, we got Sheeny VG, we got Vape and Teddy George, who is the winner of the contest from last week, and we probably Brian, of course, from Vaping for Beginners, and thanks all of you guys so much.
Yeah, I did get some. Take my hat off.
Oh my God!
I did get some news today as well, which I'm sure everybody that watched last week's show will find very funny. My VT Box 200. I'm doing a PayPal dispute with GearBest at the moment, and they finally decided to answer to PayPal today and still offer a 50% refund.
Well, at least they're honest. At least they're not pretending like that isn't their policy. So there's hope. If
I've got to go on there and just decline it, and then I don't know where it goes from there. But
I wish you a fast DNA 200. I know that we're horsed to them now that we have them.
yeah.
So, for my part, I already said something about the fact that I'm doing an Instagram giveaway sometime pretty soon, right? Did I mention that or not?
Yeah, you mentioned it before the show. I don't know if you did.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so for the viewers, my Instagram is getting up to 2,000. So at 2,000, I'm going to give away a Sapor, and I'm going to give away, it's going to be one of the cool new blue ones too, which people don't have quite yet. And I'm going to give away some Claptons and a whole set of Adore. So that'll be really cool because Instagram followers are awesome. And I've met some really, really awesome people on there, like Tilted Wagon and Awkward X-Paws, and of course our guest today, who is the coolest on Instagram, which is OhmBoy Josh, and just a ton of people. And I like Instagram. Sorry, not ashamed. That's why it says it right there. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
And do you have any news like that?
We will be having 2 giveaways again this week, won't we? One
Yeah,
live,
we are.
One replay.
We're going to give away 2 bottles of Adore eLiquid during the show today later on, and we're going to give away 2 during the replay for everybody else by asking secret questions. And Luke is in charge of those secret evil questions you have to answer.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that. The first thing is, what is it, 8:13? This is pretty good, right? Should we talk to our first guest?
Yep.
You do? It is, I don't know how many of you guys out there in vaping world have seen these guys, but Overdose Vapes is a channel that reviews e-liquids. And one of the hosts is free this morning. I cannot believe I convinced a human being on the west coast of America to get up this early and come and be on this show. And this is the second time I've done this, the first show and this show. And Travis from Overdose Vapes is joining us. This guy's a really cool guy, and I'm going to unmute him, or he's going to unmute himself, and I'm going to present him to the broadcast. Hey, buddy.
Hello.
Looking good. Wow, it's like lighter down there. It's still dark out here.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking early. Yeah.
Yeah. I was very surprised.
Yeah. I'm Travis. I'm from Overdose Vapes. We do e-liquid reviews. My lower third would have my information, but for some reason it's not fucking working, so...
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I should tell everybody something's wrong with Google, and none of their lower thirds are working, so it's hard to identify them. We're going to have links for them. We're going to have cards for them. So I want you to subscribe and love all those guys, but it's just an accident that we can't feature it.
Absolutely. Yeah. When does Google not work?
Absolutely. I know, right? Yeah. So please continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. So yeah, we just like they were saying, we do e-juice reviews. We focus mostly on e-juice. We've done some hardware in the past, and we'll do some hardware in the future. But our whole mission statement was everybody vapes e-juice. I mean, e-juice is a universal thing. Every e-juice review that I've ever seen before us was just dry and boring and fucking tedious to watch. So we thought, why not do something where you can have a little bit of fun, talk about juice, give a little bit more in-depth descriptions of the flavors, and like I said, just try to have fun. So I think that we've done it. We just hit 1,000 subscribers, which is pretty huge. Thank you so much. It's pretty huge for a channel that just does juice. I think that it's a huge milestone. So
yeah, we did touch on that a little bit last week. because obviously I said that we all do, a lot of reviewers do hardware reviews, but hardware is not really important because you can use one device and be happy with it for forever, really. And then obviously the juices is there's so many juices out there, and everybody's obviously got a different taste and what they're looking for to quit smoking. So juice is very important, and a lot of reviewers don't do juice reviews.
Absolutely. You know, and you could use an ego twist with a fucking EVOD tank. I mean, I could, if I had to, I could use that for the rest of my life if I had good juice. So, you know, thankfully I don't have to use an EVOD with a fucking pin, but...
So what are you vaping on?
Okay, so I got Charlie Noble's Siren Song here. It's like my ADV. I also got some Juicy Ohms. I love Charlie Noble. Juicy Ohms Ohm Muffin. That shit is the fucking realness. And I got my Fishbone here on my Phantom Mech Mod. Also got my what is this thing called? The SX Mini M Class with my Goliath temperature control mode.
Oh, what is this thing called? This piece of shit that I. Oh, what is it? Oh, the SX Mini M Class. Yeah, I forgot.
And so that's my morning routine.
Good for you. That's a good setup. All that stuff. I like always have a tank around for when I'm walking around the apartment, and I've got my dripper always sitting within arm's reach too. I'm like a whore for everything now.
Luckily, I get to vape at work in my office. We're a very vape-friendly office. But they don't really care for when I'm fucking fogging out the entire building in my mech mods. So I try to bring a little temp control tank or something with me, and I still fog it out. So.
Especially these days. In the old days, you could get away with going in the bathroom and taking a quick little Aspire hit, but nowadays it's like, holy fuck, what happened in there?
I close my office door, and my boss will open it, and it's just like, boom.
So... so also, just real quickly, you have a partner, and his name is
Josh.
Also Josh, which is a coincidence. But just so the viewers know, there's two of those guys, and they team up and do it. And then, of course, all of you need to go to his channel and see his juice reviews too.
And you know what? And without Josh, my partner, there would be no show. He really had the genesis of the idea. I always watched hardware reviews and was satisfied watching that, and just kind of vaped whatever juice. But he kind of came and said, you know, this is bullshit. Every juice review I watch is boring. I don't know what juice to fucking vape. Let's do that. And he was right. It's worked really well for us. So I wish he was here, but I'm sure that he is fucking deep asleep right now. So
if he's smart,
God bless his little heart. I tell you.
Yeah. If he's not insane, he should be asleep.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, so we don't know too much about you as a person, but I want to know. Or I actually know more than anybody else, but I mean the viewers don't know that much about you as a person, and I also want to hear your story, your personal story of something that everyone here watching is interested in and has done, and that is, what was it like for you to quit smoking and start vaping? Like, what happened to you?
Okay, so I have
We call this our Real Vaper Story.
All right, I have a long history of addiction. I came from families that were both parents were addicted to drugs. And, kind of went that path myself and was a drug addict for 15 years. And once I got clean off of drugs, I was still smoking really heavily and felt like, this is the last thing that's holding me to that lifestyle. So I wanted just a clean break from all addiction like that, from all things that were harming my body. So I had heard about electronic cigarettes. I got me one of those Enjoy fucking Cigalikes. Didn't work. Got me an ego twist with the EVOD. It kind of worked. I was dual using. I was still smoking. I was still, but vaping. And then I got a MVP, the old school 11-watt MVP, and I learned how to drip with that thing. I got me like a clone.
11 watts.
Yeah, I got me a clone Patriot RDA, and I got some 32 gauge wire, and I wrapped a few coils. 1 ohm coils, and I was dripping. And ever since then, as soon as I got my first drip hit, I was like, fuck cigarettes. I don't need cigarettes anymore. So
you just instantly convinced you. What kind of juice was it? What and how long ago was it too? I forgot to ask you that.
It was about 3 years ago. I would say 3 years. And Mount Baker Vapor was the juice that I was using at the time. God bless those guys from Washington State. So
they helped a lot of people stop smoking.
Yeah. I used to be able to buy 236 milliliter bottles for 35 bucks. So when I was first started vaping, I was going through gallons of juice, just constantly vaping. And they really saved me. And I developed a really great relationship with that company. And when I first started this channel, they really supported us. And I think on our channel we have like 40 reviews of Mount Baker vapor juice.
Nice. Great.
So, yeah.
That's good. We have a slightly critical attitude towards them up here in Washington because some of us believe that they abandoned the state unnecessarily just to have cheaper rent on Arizona under the guise of the regulation. But
it's a little more complicated than that, I think.
I know that it is. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Yep. But I don't want to start a fight either. I admire how many people they help quit smoking.
And I get it, the fact that they did abandon Washington, but Washington put them kind of in a corner as well, I think. So.
They're not alone, and there's a lot of other people who didn't leave.
Yeah.
Quick question about, obviously, your reviews. You mainly do juice reviews. Do you do all juices at all different ratios, or is there just, do you like sticking at a high VG?
Well, we're high VG guys, but if a company sends me something that's 50-50, I will give it a shot. I mean, I am not a snob when it comes to VG. Will I mention, hey, this would be better at a high VG? Yeah, I'm going to mention that because I don't think a lot of people want to vape 50-50 anymore.
Yeah, and you guys just recently did a review of those, I forgot the name of it, we were talking about it last night, those boxes, that were those kind of budget boxes from
Halo.
Yeah, and that's a great example of something that's completely not snotty. That's unpretentious as heck.
I thought so, and you know what, in those starter kits, I'm actually using one of them right now. And I think that they're great. For the price, they're great. Halo surprised the fuck out of me. Let's just put it like that. So.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Have you heard of 4Juice?
What's that?
4Juice.
No.
No, it's a UK juice company, but when they first started making juices, they were making them at a 70 PG for obviously starter kits and stuff. But now they found, because they went from the 70-30 and started making like a max VG, but then found obviously that the people that were still using like EVODs and stuff, that obviously the juice was too thick. So they're slowly getting away from the 70-30 line now and having a 50-50 line, but then they've still got their max VG line as well.
The only company from the UK that I've ever done was the Flavor Factory. I don't know if you've even heard of it before.
No.
It was not great. But I'm really interested in doing Miss Lord's, the plum pudding one. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you do.
I've had one or two of their juices.
It seems to be pretty popular over there. So
yeah, they're
very good.
Quite an expensive company though for me anyway. Obviously, some people don't mind paying their prices, but for me, it's quite an expensive juice.
Yeah, for me to have it shipped to where I'm at, it was going to cost a lot of money. It was, I think, $35 to $40 for a 30 ml bottle to have it shipped over here.
Yeah.
So that's crazy.
That's a lot. I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad things are going well, and I'm sorry that Josh is too chicken to get up early. I mean, sometimes children don't want to get up. I get it. I'm just kidding. Just for the viewer's sake, I'm just making a joke. I never asked Josh to come on, and so he didn't refuse, and I didn't ask him, and so it's only as a matter of course. So he doesn't deserve that at all. So you're from not San Francisco. You're from Ukiah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And so tell everybody where that is. What is that? And what's the vape culture like there? And how are your stores?
Okay, so we are about an hour north of San Francisco. We're in the heart of what they call the Emerald Triangle. Our major export, if you go to Wikipedia, our major export is marijuana.
Awesome. That's funny.
So, I mean, I would say that probably 60% of people who live in this county are involved in the marijuana industry in some way. So our vape industry is kind of tied into the whole head shop industry. So we have quite a few places that you can buy vape gear, but it's also where you can buy bongs and bubble bags and that kind of shit. We have one dedicated vape shop, and that's kind of where we go and hang out and shoot the shit with fellow vapors. Around us, in the surrounding areas, Tri-County area, there's a ton of vape shops that we go to. But here locally, it's a slowly growing scene. So
That's cool. The Seattle proper area doesn't have a lot of vape shops either, but if you go 10 or 15 miles away, which here is a huge distance, a lot of people in Dallas the equivalent is 30 or 40 miles.
Hmm.
Here it's like you walk everywhere, but there's 3 or 4 shops right here, and then there's more and more hopefully. But a lot of stuff happens in the suburbs.
I really would have expected Seattle to be just loaded with vape shops.
The suburbs, but not the city
Wow,
proper.
that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. It is weird. And my favorite one, of course, let's plug them, Future Vapor on 12th Avenue. Zach McLean was our first guest, and their shop is just the best. They're great.
Yeah,
Really
UK
great.
is still slow at the moment with vape shops. I'm hoping though, as of January when we find out what's going on with the TPD, hopefully more shops will start popping up because people will actually be able to open small businesses. But at the moment, people don't want to take the risk.
So what do you do? What do? You do a lot of online ordering still?
I do a lot of online for hardware.
Yeah.
I do have a local shop that I absolutely love that I'm hoping to at some point have a chance of actually working for them and actually being full time in the industry. But
That'd be awesome. Let's put pressure on them. Hire Luke.
Yeah. Hire Luke. That's awesome.
I actually love the juice, and I get on with the owner really well. So I try and spend as much time at the shop as I possibly can. But
Hey, let's. I don't mean to interrupt you, but let's bring on our next guest because I can't wait. First of all, he's awesome, and because then we can all chat together and ask him too. If you guys don't mind, how does that sound?
yep.
Dude, so for you viewers out there who don't know, our next guest is OhmBoy Josh, and OhmBoy Josh is a guy that I met through Instagram and through My Vaporium. Come join us on My Vaporium. And he's a fella who reviews stuff on YouTube and also makes builds and puts them on Instagram, and he's just a very cool guy. And I'm just going to bring him on. We can start asking him questions. He'll unmute himself here.
I think the word you're looking for is badass coils.
Badass. There he is. Hi, Josh.
Hey guys, how you doing? You guys are too kind.
Morning.
Morning. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Dude, give us
you
the
guys-
obligatory what you're vaping on after you thank us for being so
all right,
kind.
what am I vaping on? I am vaping on my trusty Aeronaut right now. I seriously can't put this RDA down.
I'm stealing that from you with my mind.
I've tried to put it down, man, and I can't. But yeah, you should get yourself one. They're awesome.
I'm going to
Awesome.
after your Instagram feed.
You very well should. I never really thought of myself as a big, builder. I mean, I'm OhmBoy Josh, not OhmBoy OC over here. But no, I like building. It's fun. It's the kind of thing you get into, over time. It's not something that, it's not for everybody out there. You guys have been, like you said, like Travis said, I think, you could basically vape on an EVOD and nothing else for the rest of your life. And I'm the same way. I can vape that way too. But, building, it's fun. It's fun. It's a challenge, and it's just a good time. Yeah.
Dude, so how long have you been posting stuff onto Instagram and stuff? Because the one thing I didn't do is go back and look how long it was. I know that you've been doing YouTube 6 or 7 months, but how long have you been actually doing that kind of stuff? Because you and I only met maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah. Right around that time, at the time I did my 4th or 5th juice review, something like that, my wife says, you should hop on Instagram. And I'm like, is that going to be like Facebook? I hate Facebook.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, it's not like Facebook. It's awesome. You'll like it. I'm like, okay.
She was right.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
It is awesome.
Yeah, it's just, I find it just way more user-friendly than Facebook. And I'm on Facebook also now, too, but it's mostly just like reposts of my Instagram.
Yeah, and on Instagram, you're not linking out. On Instagram, I'm seeing what you're doing, and you're seeing what I'm doing, and that's it. It's like, there it is. And like, I do a video, come watch us live, or I do a video, or I do a picture, here's what I'm vaping. And it's like, you do a thing that says, this is what I built, and you make a description. One thing I like about your Instagram is that you talk about what you're doing.
Yeah.
How do you mean, like the specifics of like the coil, like what it's made of, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and problems that you're having, and things that you did wrong, and things like that. Like you're verbose about the ups and the downs, whereas often we just see these like, look at my thing, and you're a much more real type of guy on there, and I like that.
Well, the thing is, I've only been messing with those crazier kinds of builds for a few months. Like 2-3 months is how long I've been building like that. So a lot of it for me, it's still a big learning experience.
What were you going to say, Luke? I feel like I interrupted you. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I was just going to say the only con that I find with Instagram is I think their video feeds need to be a little bit longer, so you can actually record for a bit longer.
15 seconds is pretty short.
Boy, that is, dude.
Trying
to get creative.
Squeeze it in. It's like if you've got quite a bit of information to say on a video, you've got to try and squeeze it in, and it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, Josh, I love your builds from what I've seen, and I think that building has been like such a major part of me staying off of cigarettes. Just keeping my hands busy, always trying new things, always looking for the next coil. I'm a coil nut myself, so I really appreciate the work that you're doing, and I think that it's really a huge key to keeping people away from cigarettes.
Yeah, it's really where the hobby aspect of everything comes into it. When you really start, forming a love for the lifestyle of vaping, as well as just keeping off cigarettes.
Yeah,
absolutely. One thing I forgot to ask you was, I'm sorry, Luke. Go ahead.
I'm sure you're going to probably ask the same thing. I'd like to know a little bit about like your vaping story and how long you smoked for, and what got you into vaping.
Yeah, what got me into vaping? Well, it was, the first time we tried a vape was a long time ago. This is back when the only place you really encountered vaping was at like the mall in those kiosks.
Yeah.
And over here in the U.S., I don't know how it is in the U.K. Maybe they have other kinds of accents, but here in the U.S., they all don very fake, very French accents to talk with you about how you can smoke everywhere, and you can smoke on a plane, and you can smoke in a restaurant. It's very ridiculous.
Not as of a month ago. No more smoking or vaping on planes.
That's true too. That's true. But back, this is, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, maybe longer than that, is when we first tried it, and it was like
what kind
one
of
of
a
those
smoker were you, Josh?
I was a pack-a-day smoker. I smoked Camels mainly. So, yeah, and the wife, she smoked Camels too. We were both basically pack and a half a day smokers.
You start young?
Yeah, I started when I was 15.
Yeah.
I smoked for 15 years before I quit. So it was a good long while.
Yeah, there you go. So remember, smokers out there, it's hard, and we all smoked a long time before we just made these decisions. So you're at the kiosk, and they're speaking French to you, fake French. Right.
Yeah, and it's like one of those Smoke 51 kits, and we bring it home, and we hated it. We hated it.
You hated it.
They broke after like a week, and I tried to return it because we had an unopened one. They wouldn't take it back. So, they sucked.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want that shit back.
Yeah.
We didn't even want to sell it.
Yeah, at one point the guy like took it out of my hand, put it on the counter, and I'm like, "Where's my refund? Bring back my money." He's like, "No, I'm just going to take your kit." I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? So that was basically it.
That's actual theft.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. That was us in vaping. We were done with vaping for years after that.
Uh-huh.
And then my wife's work situation changed, and she needed something that she could use at work more freely. And she comes home one day with this Enjoy, and she's like, "Look at this thing." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? What is that?" I thought it was a cigarette at first. And the Enjoy Kings, the little ones that came in the pack.
Yeah.
And I tried it, and it blew my mind how far the technology had come in those years since we, given up on it. I was amazed. So, I started using those pretty heavily. We used Enjoy for a long time. Then we moved on to White Clouds because they were a little bit less expensive. But, it wasn't working for the wife. Wasn't working so well for her. And one day she turns to me and she says, let's go to this shop, E-Cig Charleston, because we're in South Carolina here, Charleston. Mm-hmm. And let's go down to this shop, this vape shop, and let's try out one of those Ego batteries. And I'm like, an ego battery? Those things are huge. They're ginormous. So, yeah, but we tried them and we loved them. And then from then on, we never really had another cigarette. I fell in love with them instantly, mainly because growing up, and I grew up in Long Island. I went to school in Brooklyn. After I got out of school, I would head into the East Village to hang out there for a while, and I'd usually just sit in a hookah bar for a few hours. Read some
Hookah,
books.
love the hookah.
Yeah, I was big on hookah back then.
We are
Loved it.
friends of the hookah in this show. All of us,
Oh, yeah.
me and Luke, we both like hookah.
So
Yeah.
you used EVOD for, how long did you actually use it for? Because I tried quit with an ego battery and like an EVOD tank. I couldn't get on with it. So how long did it take you before you decided to upgrade from an ego battery to something bigger?
We were pretty much on the ego batteries until the time the Nautilus came out.
Mhm.
Yeah. When
Okay.
the Nautilus came out, we moved on to the MVP. But, then again, that's pretty much an ego battery too, isn't it, when you get right down to it? Just more battery.
Basically,
Yeah.
slightly longer life, yeah. I got this
So-
SVD, which was just a 118-650, but as far as old school regulated mods, this is one of the best ones because it's 15 watts and it always works, and voltage too.
Yeah,
I
just
used
a
it for
bigger battery.
12 months.
Yeah, but for me, I just found that the ego battery. I don't know. I only had the standard one. I couldn't change the power on the ego battery.
One
And
of
I
the
just
Easeville
found
guys.
that- Yeah, and they weren't lasting long enough. It was like
These are the worst.
I needed 3 of them just to last me throughout the day, and it was like,
This is what we always joke about in the show, is that these things are good for one puff a day. The
Yeah.
first puff, you're like, whoa, yeah, oh, great. And then all day long, you're frustrated because that's as much battery power as you have.
yeah.
And then you go and you need to get something like this because it has a real battery in it, but it does the exact same thing. You put the same tank on it, you're like, all day.
I needed more vape. That was my main complaint with all the devices that I had up until my first mech mod was I need more fucking vape.
Yep.
If I don't have that that fucking plume coming out of me, I just don't feel right. So
I liked this. I'm ashamed to say this, but to me, the volume of the vape and before the smoke, I just liked the smoke. Forget about the danger and all the crap, but just as a human thing, to me, as a kid, I like a lot of vape too. I like a lot
It's
of.
satisfying to see
Yeah.
those clouds of smoke coming out your
Big
face.
time.
It's satisfying.
And because I smoked so long, I smoked for almost 30 years. I like a hot vape, and I like to have a little chest hit. Not like a nicotine one, but I mean like a little bit of a chest hit too, because that's just what I'm used to.
like a nice lung fill.
Yeah.
That's what I'm always looking for, a dense lung fill from my vape. So
Well, the lesson I wanted to just point out to the viewers, just in case, just while we have a lull here, is that Josh is saying that it is hard, and they went up and down and started and stopped, and they tried different pieces of hardware, and they didn't give up. And his girlfriend, also got sick of smoking, and they went out and it's hard. You start and you stop, and you start and you stop, but just stick with it and keep watching people like us, because we testify to you that you can quit smoking.
even if you're dual using, even if you are smoking still and vaping, don't quit vaping. Just keep on and keep on, because that's what happened to me. I was dual using, and eventually the cigarettes became less appealing, and I was looking forward to vaping much more than smoking.
That's totally true. My wife had a really hard time. She basically could not really get completely off of the cigarettes until we got to the sub-tanks. She fell in love with the Kanger sub-tank, like the sub-tank mini.
Changed
that
the
whole
world.
series. Yeah,
Mhm.
she
Changed
loved
the
that
world.
thing. And that's what finally got her off,
Yeah.
the cigarettes.
Yeah.
I happen to have one sitting right here. In fact, I've got mine unbuilt. I'm all ready to put a new RTA. I'm going to use this static wire nickel in that sub-tank mini.
Do
I
you
can't wait
like
to get
that
to
shit,
Nice.
Juicy?
Yeah, I love it.
It's the realness, right?
I put it
It
in
is
the Earl
the
Conigan,
realness.
and it was amazing. And I'm going to put it in
Yeah.
the sub-tank now. It's
I
amazing.
got it in the Goliath, and I have it in a couple other things. I fucking love it. It's the
the
best.
only
it's
nickel
the-
that isn't
Yeah, it's the best nickel I've ever had.
weird is good. I'm glad though, because the sub-tank kit, I believe Kanger changed the world just like the Nautilus did. Like they made a thing that's one thing. You put a battery in, and you're set. You're fine.
Yeah.
And you can even dial it down the airflow to where it's almost. To me, it's not acceptable as a mouth to lung, but I'm in the minority there a lot because I think for me, I'm a heavier smoker and need more volume, like we were saying. But a lot of people find it satisfying as a mouth to lung thing. Well, that's cool. She got that, man.
I'd like to ask a question that I know we've never asked before on any of the previous
I'm
episodes.
nervous.
But for both of you guys, what would be your setup that you would, for someone that obviously came, if someone came to you and said, I wanted to start vaping, they smoke, let's say, maybe 2 packs a day, what would be your opinion on a good kit for them to start with?
Josh, you want to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. My choice for someone just starting out would honestly be, I would not recommend a sub tank off the rip, personally, just because I think that is, it's too much to really. It goes through a lot of juice really quick. It's a much heavier hit. It takes, I think it's something that you work your way up to. I wouldn't say necessarily start out with a Sig-alike. I'd start out with the Nautilus, honestly.
Nautilus
I think
Mini is good.
Yeah,
Nautilus Mini.
Yeah, it's a good tight draw. It's low powered enough that it's not just gonna. I mean, it takes a little getting used to when you move from cigarettes into vaping. I feel like, if someone slapped a variable wattage device in my hand at that point that went up to 100 watts or 200 watts now and gave me a sub tank, I'd probably blow out those coils in no time. I wouldn't know what I was doing. I'd just be. That's a little dangerous, I think. I think starting out with something like a Naughty Mini, it's got the right pull. You can get, I think that's the right way to go. Yeah. No.
All right. For me, I'm going to have to say the Ego 1 would probably be my choice for new beginners because it comes with the 0.5 ohm coils, it comes with the 1.2 ohm coils. It's all in one. It has its own battery. You can charge it on your computer. It's very small. I mean, it's discreet. It's almost got the whole, Ego Twist vibe to it, but it chucks fucking clouds if you want to chuck clouds. The battery life is amazingly pretty good, and I've had a lot of success giving it to people who are new vapors, like my mother. And my wife, actually, she started with the Ego 1. It just has been something that I've seen new vapors kind of gravitate to. So.
Yeah, those are two common recommendations right there. The Naughty Mini and the Ego 1 kit. Those are both good. And I've seen the Ego 1 kit do well with the 1.5 or 1.2 ohm coil.
1.2.
Yeah, it's good. And I've seen that thing chuck clouds too. That's what our local guy sells for his kits.
Yeah.
You also can't go wrong with like a little MVP 30 or 20, something low that you can't, because what Josh said about cranking the watts up, that's not a good idea. When you're quitting, you don't need watts.
The only thing about that is that I don't want to give somebody something that they can't grow with.
Yeah.
And so if I can tell them what's going on and I can say, hey, keep it at 10 watts while you're using this tank, but if you want to move on, let me know and we can fucking jack it up to 50 watts and put a sub tank on it. It's all about the kind of access that I have to the person. If I can lead them along, that's probably a different recommendation. But if it's just somebody who I don't know who's asking, I say Ego 1.
Yeah, because that's what I did. A guy that works that I see at work wanted to get off of smoking, which he's been having some issues with it. But I set him up with the iStick 50 watt because I knew he sits in the office with me when I'm vaping, and he's like, he has a go on mine, and he's like, yeah, I think that'll like work for me. And obviously I see him a lot, so I can keep him to where I think he should be. And I actually set him up with the sub tank mini. I think he's got like 2 air holes open, and we sat down. I put a 1.2 coil in it, and then we locked it at like 20 watts, I think it is, and he's just left it locked. So if he wants to go up, we'll sit down and I can go through maybe lowering the coils or hiring up the wattage a bit. But yeah, that's what I've set up for him. But obviously, I do see him on a regular basis.
I think what's hardest for a new vapor starting out is finding the right juice.
Yeah. Oh my good Lord, yes.
Yeah.
What do you tell people?
I sat down. What I do, I mean, if someone comes to me, I basically pull out all the juice from my collection, like get the flavor profiles and lay them out in front of them, and just let them go to town. Let them try it out. I load up a few drippers. Maybe I'll load up a tank. But I mean, when I'm letting them try some drippers, I mean, it's very low wattage drippers. You know,
it's hard to try juices out when you know the dripping is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And they're new. You know, it's like because they're always confused about the flavor versus the lung. You know, you're having to explain mouth to lung and direct to lung and different ohmids and stuff, and there's some jargon and stuff. So it's difficult sometimes to explain to people, but it's so worth it when you have the time like you to be able to sit down with them and talk to them about it.
You know what I tell people? If you smoke weed or you have smoked weed, then just think of it like that. Like you're just going straight to lung.
That is the method.
That, you know, but if you don't smoke weed or you haven't smoked weed, smoke it like a cigarette. And that's the best way that I have found to try to differentiate the two styles of vaping.
You will coincidentally learn what people are talking about when they say like smoking weed, because it isn't smoking weed. It is just the same method of getting the vapor into your mouth. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, that's so funny. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I totally try to talk to people about the concentrations of these things and how it matters what device you have, what concentrations you have. So if you're starting out, typically you'd start out with something that has a higher draw, which means more resistance inside. So a thicker juice isn't as good. It just doesn't work as well. And then as you move up, and maybe after you're through with maintenance and you want to go to being a hobbyist and you get like a sub-tank kit or something, then you're going to go to thicker juice because it works better in those things. And the thinner ones don't work as well. And so I'm always having that conversation with people as well, is about trying to plan your eLiquid.
The first eLiquid that I ever had that I thought I could vape this instead of smoking, and that was Mother's Milk from Suicide Bunny.
I remember that juice.
I thought, fuck, if I could vape this, then I don't ever need to smoke again. And so a lot of times when people are asking me about juice, I will tune them into something that I think is outrageously good, just because maybe then they'll think, oh shit, if this is this good, maybe there's other ones out there that are this good too.
Have you tried their King's Crown line?
I love the King's Crown line. Oh my god, every single one of them.
Oh yeah. I've just ordered 3 bottles of the Bound by the Crown.
Bound by the Crown is my favorite one. Oh my god, that shit is unreal. Unreal.
Nice. Yep.
I'm writing that down.
That's the stone fruit one, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh my god.
I just cracked open this bottle just now as you were mentioning Suicide Bunny. I just took the wrap off of it.
Oh, it's so good. Fuck. Luckily for me, before I even started my channel, I had the idea for the channel. I actually wrote Pip from Suicide Bunny. She's the one who's in charge over there. I wrote her a letter and I said, hey, this is our idea for the show. Would you be interested in providing us some juice for review? She sent us out the entire Suicide Bunny line, the entire King's Crown line. So our first series of reviews was on what I consider some of the best juice on the market. So very lucky.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, she seems like a nice gal.
She's a pretty nice lady. Yeah.
Bound by the Ground. I'm going to try that too. Yeah, you know what got me off cigarettes? You know, it's weird for me because I actually got off cigarettes before I started vaping. I got off cigarettes onto the lozenges and to the hookah. And then I started vaping later because the girlfriend wanted to cut down on the hookah because, as we all know, that's a ton of nicotine. And so the one that finally got, the one liquid, I tried everything in my little Kanger. It was a Kanger Pro Tank. And the one that finally got me was, it's banal, I know, but it's Puff King. And up here, there wasn't a lot of decent. There were no vape shops, and there was not a lot of stuff available. Only like head shop stuff. And one guy carried that, and it was good enough to make me go, oh, okay, all right.
Shall we do the giveaway for the live chat?
I would love to. Yeah, because it's approaching 10 till. Yeah, great timing. What a great discussion too.
Which question are we gonna use for the live chat? Are we using Josh's?
OhmBoy Josh.
Okay, so guys, what you need to do is I'm going to chuck the link in the chat so you can go to Josh's.
Wait, you can't put links in the chat. That's the problem with Google Chat.
Can you not?
Nope. But you should search YouTube. Just go YouTube and search for OhmBoy Josh. You'll find it. And go to his channel.
And we are what we want is the date that he uploaded the Badass RDA.
Yeah, in fact, you can click on his link in the description of this video. It's all already in there. I didn't do it after the show. I did it before the show. Boom, being organized.
Which RDA?
The Badass. The Badass.
You think we didn't look around there, buddy? Dig around your little closet of reviews?
Oh man, that was funny.
We researched.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it.
We just want the date that it was uploaded. That was all.
Nice.
That's fun to put it in.
That's right. I'm sorry. The date, just the date, because we know what the review is. It's the Badass review.
And you'll win two 30ml bottles of Adore?
That's correct. You're going to win 2 30ml bottles of Adore, and all you have to do is email me, juicyjones@gmail.com, and I'll arrange it with you. And we're also going to do a giveaway for the replays.
Winner.
Misty Fan 3996. That was quick.
Yeah, that was quick.
June 8th, 2015 is the correct answer, so email me. Oh, and Skeletor tried. He tried. Email me at juicyjones@gmail.com, and I will arrange it with you. And you'll be able to go to the Adore eLiquid.com website and pick out any two you want, and we'll send them to you. The lovely Dawn Michelle from Adore has provided that giveaway, and she has also provided one for the replay. And the replay giveaway is another one that's similar. We want you guys, I wrote this down, we want you to go to, and this won't work now, but during the replay, if you type in the chat down there after your comment about how awesome Josh and Travis are, and how much you love the show, and how you've shared it with all of your friends on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and made your mom watch it, type in Overdose Vapes, the date of their Deviant review by Sick Boy.
Good review.
The reason I picked that one is that Deviant is one of my picks from Sick Boy. I like that.
That's a good juice.
It shouldn't be, but it really is. I really like it. Hello, puppy. Puppy is
he is harassing me right now. Do you see this?
He is cute as shit.
He's a doll.
It's kind of weird when you're a dog owner how you learn, and I'm sure Adam can tell us about this too, but how when you're a dog owner you realize that dogs start looking old, and you see it in their gray, just like I don't have any, but there's no gray in my beard. But there's like humans, their hair changes color, and they start waking up slower and going, oh, not now, you know.
Eventually they start to look like this guy.
Oh my God, another cutie, another cutie.
Oh, how adorable.
Let me get mine.
This is the dog podcast.
This show's gone to the
Dogcast.
Another one wants to say hi.
Oh my God, what a doll.
That's Mork. He's a Morky.
This is Sadie.
Sadie!
Oh my God!
Sadie's cute.
You see her on Instagram sometimes when she's like, she needs a haircut. She just
She's
woke up.
Adorable.
Oh, she really is, dude. All you guys have cute dogs.
See you later, buddy.
So, another
You can
question.
go back to sleep, baby.
Another question for both of you guys. Obviously, you both do YouTube videos. Where do you see your channels going in the future?
You want to go first, Travis?
Sure. We started this off just as a hobby, and we've been doing this for almost a year. And for the first 6 months, we had 20 subscribers, and so I don't see it going anywhere unless the FDA steps in and fucking destroys everything about American vaping. But yeah, the next 5 years we're going to continue doing this, continue improving our quality. People, longtime viewers, know that we started off with a webcam that my wife had bought me, a very basic 720p webcam, and we've actually upgraded to a full HD fucking $1,000 camera. So we're just going to continue going onward and upward, branching off a little bit more to do hardware, to do just like stuff like wire, stuff like wicking material. We have a video on our channel already about cotton bacon, which is my wicking material of choice. And
Good
so
stuff.
just little things like that, just moving onward and upward. But definitely we're still going to be here in 5 years. So.
Cool.
What about you, Josh?
Wow, 5 years is a long-term plan, Travis. That's awesome. I don't know. I'm going to do this as long as I enjoy it, is my plan. I've had nothing but fun with my channel. I have a lot of fun talking to people in the comments, and made a lot of friends doing these reviews. I meet a lot of interesting people. I'd like to do a lot more build videos because that's what I seem to be gravitating a lot more toward these days. I enjoy building, and more hardware. Will I still be going on in 5 years? I hope so. I hope so. That sounds like it's fun. I enjoy doing it. It's a labor of love, is what it is.
Yep,
But,
that's absolutely right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, doing these videos, I mean, I edit my videos a lot. So, I mean, these things take hours. Each one takes hours. But it's worth it, and it's my way of giving back to the community. But
Yeah, all of the viewers should know that we do this, all of us do this because of you. When you tune in, we do this because we think you're listening, and we get feedback, and they get feedback, and you guys tell us what you want, and we try to do that. And if we're trying to help everyone quit smoking and show people what we're doing with that,
Absolutely.
and we're trying to help you guys. And as long as y'all watch, he's going to keep doing that. As long as you keep watching, we're going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And because it's fun for me to talk to you about this stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same for you guys.
I was under the impression I was going to be paid for this interview.
You're getting paid in prestige, buddy. Okay, so we don't have too much time left. We have 2 minutes. Luke, you got something else to say? I didn't mean to interrupt you. And
Yeah,
you too, Josh. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
you're good,
Just,
buddy.
it's up to you guys if you want to answer it. I don't know what you do personally for work, but is there any plans to get into the vape industry and work in a shop or for a company? Would you like to do that, or is it not what you want to get into?
For me, I like keeping my my work life and my vape life separate, because I feel like if I was surrounded by it all day, it would be like working in a pizza restaurant. I mean, I get tired of pizza.
Yeah.
I don't want that. It's yeah. So I mean, I'm very happy with where I work. I'm very well taken care of. So I don't foresee me going into the actual industry myself, because this is how I recreate. This is my chill time right here. This is how I enjoy my time off. So
Yeah.
if I was just inundated with it all the time, I don't think that I could get. I don't think I could do this as well as I do anymore. So.
Yeah. And Travis, I know you're too busy for that. You work for somebody important.
Yeah,
So-
well, I work for a place called Project Sanctuary. What we are is we're a crisis center. We help women or men who are fleeing from domestic violence. We have a safe house where we put people up in transitional housing. We have on-site psychiatrists for counseling. What I do is prevention, where I go out into schools, I go into organizations, I give talks about sexual consent, about sexual violence, healthy relationships. Our whole goal is just to kind of put an end to domestic violence in our area. So would I give that up? No. It is the most fulfilling job I've ever had in my life. Do I want to be more involved in the vaping industry? Yes. We're looking at getting our own. We want to start our own industry. We want to perhaps have a juice line of our own eventually once we get to that point. And would I love to open a vape shop and just have it staffed by people I trust? Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. Well, I don't want to cut things short, but we're at our hour here,
Okay.
and I want to say that you guys are awesome. I want to thank Josh and I want to thank Travis, both of you, for coming to the show. It's early, and you guys are awesome.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
having
for
us,
having
man.
me.
Yeah. All of you viewers out there, please like these and subscribe and tell your friends, and make sure that you subscribe to PolishVapesUK and you subscribe to my channel. And we do this every week, and I think soon as heck we're going to do a DIY episode, right, Luke?
Yeah, we are gonna. I'm gonna try and get hold of some concentrates, and then we can plan a week to do that.
That's right. We're just waiting on him to get his order in, and I've got some right now, coincidentally. But we're all into that. I know a lot of you has questions about that, and let's just vape out, guys. This has been a fun time. Thanks to all the viewers out there too. So many of them, and our winner, Misfit Fan 3996. Vaping. Thank you. Here's where I find the button for stop broadcast.